Good morning, everyone. My name is Theodore Wynn. I will be presenting this economics week 5 discussion post submitted to Mr. Shaman Lim, of course. And here we go. My index includes the title page, the index, exploring options, finding my path, my career pathway, sharing with Uncle Sam's, what are stocks, defining vocabulary, and my personal stock prospects, along with risk factors, financial advices, and my reflection. Now, to explain what the 6 non-income factors that play a person's career decision making process, for interests and passions, you need to find a type of job that is interesting or enjoyable to you. And for your personal value beliefs is the alignment between the career you are finding and your personal values and beliefs. For location, it's just proximity to a job or career opportunity based on where you are or where you prefer to be. Work life balance includes just the balance between work and personal life, like including flexible schedules, paid times off, and other benefits. Company culture, which is the overall work environment of the company, including the values, traditions, and practices they hold. Career growth and development is just like a general potential for advancement, professional development, and career growth within like a particular field, industry, or company. And among these 6 factors, the one I believe holds the most impact or influence is location, mostly because location serves as a large influence in deciding a career because what you want may not be available to you at the time in that area, and because of that you have to either adjust your interests to whatever is available near you, or you have to sorry move to a more suitable environment for your personal interests. And because of that, this holds more influence because it takes money and investment to pursue a specific career path. And not only that, your personal values, beliefs, and interests are mostly determined on where you are raised and who you grow up around. So when you're in that particular environment, like say a suburban area, you probably have like middle class interests, such as an office job or liberty in general, just to decide where you're going to work. Now, moving on to how I found my path or how I took the quiz and displayed my path. Um, I believe these career choices are like a true representation of my personal interest, and I think it's important to find out what we want and like to do or like to do while we're in high school, because it provides a basis for us to make informed decisions about our future career paths. And by exploring the interests we want to pursue in high school, we can identify potential career options that align with our passions and strengths. This also can lead to greater job satisfaction, career success throughout life. Additionally, early exploration can help us make informed choices about post secondary education and training, which saves us a lot of time and money in the long run by avoiding career changes and educational programs that are not just a good fit, like being an unhappy office worker when you really want to be out there exploring sciences, like field sciences or field research. And make it like a heavy note that no career is permanent, but to know what you want to do earlier in life is a lot better than having no clue where you're going. Now, for my career pathways, from what I've shown here, um, I agree to the results of the survey because they didn't really reveal anything new that I hadn't discovered prior to taking this class. It's mostly because I've already taken similar quizzes on my own time, and I did that because I've had to take these for like grades throughout my childhood up until this point. And if I hadn't said it again, I agree with the results, but I can't help to question like the validity of it because of concerns with change throughout human life, and if I really want to go to a school for nearly a decade to achieve the current goal, going back to um, job changing changes over here. Now, out of the three career paths I listed out on slide four, I find that the field of medicine most interests me primarily because when I grew up, I often find myself being operated for multiple reasons. Like when I was about five, I felt like I got kicked off the slide and, I fell on my face. So my teeth got smashed and maligned. So talking to and being handled by apt care providers um, really brightened my day. Well, not brightened my day, but like it kept it from being any worse. And a perpetually returning cyst on my left ear, specifically right here, uh, kept returning, and having like doctors and well, just various specialty doctors talking me through that was very nice, and I want to be like that because it helps people in a meaningful way. And like again, the close proximity to healthcare workers has inspired me to pursue a career in the field that provides a meaningful physical impact on someone's life. The factors that may influence this decision or interest in the future would probably be of a personal interest shift or changes in work culture that like I somehow uncover. Because from like age 6 to present day, I still desired to work in that field even after asking my providers and my relatives that work in healthcare right now, such as my aunt or my uncle going studying to become a doctor or continue his doctorate. My career pathway again. The potential costs and benefits of a career path can definitely have a significant impact on one's career choice. For example, in the field of medicine, benefits to benefits include like abilities to make a difference in people's lives, job stability, high earning potential. However, the costs or the limits that you have to overcome is like long, demanding educational and training requirements, high levels of stress in that training and on field, high levels of responsibility, which contributes to the stress. And similarly to field of research sciences, back here, also 93%. Benefits also include like making groundbreaking discoveries, contribute to the advancement of like knowledge, while it's like long hours of work, low pay in early stages, and highly competitive job because well, compared to medicine, it's like highly pursued. Well, I mean they're both highly pursued, but medicine has more bars. And lastly, in engineering, the benefits include job stability, high earning potential, and the opportunity to work on innovative projects, while the costs include like a demanding educational curriculum, long work hours, and high levels of responsibility. Now, in weighing these costs and benefits, individuals must carefully consider the personal goals, strengths, and interests in making informed career decisions. But the deciding factor between these three fields, for me at least, is that I've had more individual experience with people that work in medicine. So I have more insight of what the work environment provides and well just kind of provides and the costs associated with it and how the people within that area behave. With again my personal biases and interests added on top of that. Sharing with Uncle Sam. Why do we pay taxes? We need to pay taxes for several reasons, including funding public goods and services such as infrastructure, education, healthcare, and defense. Military funding, for example, in the U.S. is like huge because we need military to kind of act as a buffer. So it's like, haha, we can't start wars or they can't wage war against us because we have a giant military. Now, taxes also help to redistribute wealth and provide social programs for those who are less fortunate, such as like welfare, unemployment, or a new concept called universal basic income, but that's more socialistic. Additionally, taxes play a crucial role in maintaining stability and growth of an economy by regulating like just the general money supply and promoting economic growth through public spending. Without taxes, governments wouldn't have the necessary funds to just provide essential services and functions, which would ultimately have a negative impact on overall well-being and prosperity of the society. Say firefighters, they're kind of public workers. They keep property damage minimum. Road workers, they pave roads for us to use. Then they have community service or cleanup crew, keeping our place clean so we don't have to live in a trashy society, etc., etc. You get my point. Now, for what taxes my relatives pay, I use my father specifically. I just kind of took notes. It's like as a U.S. Navy CPO, he is subject to multiple taxes: federal income tax, taxes on his overall income that goes to the federal government. He pays Social Security and Medicare taxes, or TRICARE, which pay that funds kind of just programs for retirees and the disabled. I mean, they feed back to him anyways. It's like kind of reinvestment taxes. Uh, Pays state, local income taxes, depending on where they live and work. I mean, if he owns property, he also pays property taxes to the local government. And if you make any purchases, you pay sales tax on the items, which goes to the state or local government, etc., etc. Direct taxes versus indirect taxes. Now, direct taxes are taxes levied on individuals and organizations based on their income, profits, or assets. Taxes are paid directly to the government by the taxpayer. Like examples of this was before, like personal income taxes or property tax, or corporate tax. They're generally considered to be progressive taxes because of the amount of tax paid increases with the taxpayer's income or wealth. Now, indirect taxes, on the other hand, are taxes imposed on goods, services, rather than individuals or organizations. They are included in the price of a product or service and are paid by the consumer at the time of purchase. Examples include sales tax, excise tax, value added tax, indirect tax, and that's it. Well, there's more, but not listed. Indirect taxes are generally considered regressive because they tend to have a greater impact on lower income individuals as they represent a larger proportion of the disposable income. Now, for my opinion, we need both of these because Direct taxes, such as income and property tax, provide a stable source of revenue for the government to fund public goods and services like healthcare, like Obamacare, Medicaid, Medicare, education. These system schools will be functioning and the organizations within that school, the infrastructure, roads, buildings, offices, accountability institutions, etc., like government jobs, and generally progressive because it's like more rich people. Rich people pay a larger percentage of incomes taxes. The indirect taxes, such as sales tax, excise tax, are also important revenue for the government because these taxes generally, well, not because, but like these taxes are typically regressive again, which disproportionately affect lower income individuals because it just consumes a larger percent of the income. And I don't really like that, but we do need them because they discourage the consumption of certain goods such as tobacco or alcohol that can have negative health or societal impacts. Overall, both of these are very good because it gives the government money and they need that money to reinvest into us or just to reinvest to us. We don't want the government spending the money on themselves. And they also promote economic growth and addressing some social and environmental issues. Now, oops. Among these three options, progressive, regressive, and proportional taxes, between those, the greatest advantage for an individual household is kind of unknown. I didn't really know how to answer this one because we weren't given a specific instance, but progressive tax systems where tax rates are increases as income increases, like it provides a greater advantage for people in lower income brackets such as middle class and lower class. Simply because they pay a smaller percentage while people with richer houses pay more. Proportional tax systems where everyone pays the same percentage of as everyone else does. Uh, Mostly advantages middle income people because they just pay a lower amount of taxes overall. Like they pay less than like a high class and less proportionally than a lower class. And regressive, where tax decreases as income tax rate decreases as income increases, is kind of not beneficial for anyone except for like the top 1%, which is really bad. Um, because everyone gets punished under that. Like no one really likes that, and it prevents growth. Ultimately, tax system that provides the greatest advantage for anyone is kind of just dependent on where you stand economically. Among these three, uh, oh yeah, the same three, but like the greatest benefit would probably be proportional because not only does it like benefit middling organizations, it just provides a better system for businesses to plan and budget their taxes, while not like it's being not equitable but equal as burden on all businesses. Proportional taxes encourages investment and economic growth by not overly burdening new businesses or individual with high tax rates. However, it's kind of important to note on other factors such as like specifically industry or market conditions can also affect tax advantages for a particular business. Oh, I need that. Ooh, sharing with exam. So I meant to put it on the last slide, but I had no space. So, like, if I was the governor of Hawaii, uh, the three tax models, I would prefer to enforce a stricter progressive tax system because it kind of just strengthens the government's power by increasing revenue to fund public services and programs that benefit the majority of citizens, such as education or healthcare. Uh, and like to go into deeper detail, we need that because of like just to prevent like say homelessness because by increasing our education funding, we we have a buffer or a system that prevents people from leading into homelessness, just like a as a pathway. And healthcare because well, like what if you like fall and you get injured and now you can't work? We want proper healthcare that's adequately funded so we prevent people from having to go into debt over like an injury and now they're just kind of homeless for the rest of their life. And like back again to going to like reducing the debt, progressive taxes reduces income inequality and promotes social welfare, which like leads to greater stability and social cohesion long term. Other hand, like just to counter argue, a regressive tax system just kind of weakens governmental power by burdening lower income, causes social unrest. It reduces their ability to consume and invest, which also leads to economic instability. Um, who don't ever use a regressive tax system. Like just be aware of that, cognizant. Um, common taxes we need to pay before we get a paycheck. We'll say we got federal income tax, state income tax, social security tax, Medicare tax, federal income tax is just like a general tax on income. Again, just to reiterate on old points, state income tax, taxes on your income for the state government to function. Social security, well, we need social security as a retirement option if you do live that long. And Medicare tax is just kind of Medicare is just reinvesting into yourself for later. Uh, shoot. For roles and functions, though, each of those, well, federal income tax, state income tax, fund the government programs and kind of just keeps our nation more stable because of it. You have it kind of also funds government jobs that we need and social security, Medicare taxes. We need those to spend specific programs that just kind of provides benefits to eligible individuals for like retirement. Now, what are stocks? I'm not one to go tell you how to manage your money, but as a prompt, how we should manage our cash. Managing cash is like you need to take a lot of steps to ensure like individual one individual's or a household's cash flow is sufficient to cover expenses while maintaining savings a savings cushion for emergencies or future expenses. Like the concept that Mr. Lim taught me of how well not taught but like kind of just reiterated to me that Southeast Asian people save a lot of money to for rainy days. One way that you can manage your costs is creating a budget and tracking income and expenses. You estimate monthly income, create a list of monthly expenses, including fixed expenses like rent, mortgage, utilities, and car payments, as well as variable expenses like groceries, dining out, and entertainment. It's very important to track these expenses to identify areas where it can be saved or expenses can be reduced. Additionally, establishing an emergency fund or saving for future expenses like retirement, education, or a down payment on a home is important for long term financial stability. Unfortunately, this meeting will end very soon, so I'll have to part two this. But I'll continue with this slide and end it and segment it. Now, what is inflation and how does it affect your savings? Inflation refers to the general increase of prices in goods and services over time. And when inflation occurs, purchasing power of money decreases, which means goods are just kind of the same amount, which means the same amount of money can buy fewer goods and services than before, which has a significant impact on savings because the value of money saved today may decrease in the future due to inflation. For example, if you save $1,000 today, inflation is 3%. That means $1,000 today will only be worth like 970 of that day's money next year. Therefore, it is important to consider inflation when managing your cash and savings, and to make sure that your savings and earnings are earning at a rate of return that keeps pace or exceeds the inflation rate. It's kind of hard. All right.